a very, very, very special episode. We are in Vegas for the Sin City Classic, playing all the sports that everyone loves and bringing the community together. Right?
Yes.
Even though we lost today to this bitch. It's been fun. It's been fun so far.
Sorry.
Whatever. Scott and I had a little inside bet, but we didn't, he didn't make good on that bet today. But it's all right. It's all right.
I tried. And I told you, I said, here, we got it. Let's go. But they wouldn't give you the ball.
What was the bet?
Do we say this online? Because internet's forever.
Okay, so Ty and I went to a swingers golf course yesterday.
Oh, over at Mandalay Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun story, Jessica Hernandez over there used to be our Brooklyn Bowl closing party manager, and she moved over there. She's managing that place now. So we're looking to do events over there next year.
Oh, really?
That's a cute place.
Cool place, right?
It was amazing. We had a good time, but it was if Scott won, then whoever lost would have to turn the ball over purposely.
Oh.
But he didn't do it.
I tried. I said, here's your money. I said, I told him, I said, he's got a beautiful fadeaway jump shot. I said, Ty, I'll give it to you easy. I won't defend you if you get the ball.
Yeah.
And
he even said it. He was like, I'm not going to guard this. I'm not going to guard this.
Yeah.
But he goes, I'm not going to let you shoot three, though.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I didn't say, I'm not giving you the three. No, I'm not giving you the three. So
I was like, well, that's the one I want to shoot.
No. I would give it the 2 over the 3.
Anyway, we are Fruit Hoops. This is a fun sports podcast. We have fun. We talk shit. We get a little raunchy sometimes. Depends on how you like it. I am Ty. This is Scott. Beautiful Jason. Give us a little introduction.
Well, everybody, I'm one of the directors of the Sin City Classic, so I'm here this year and for the last 4 years in this role. Myself and Larry Ruiz lead a huge team of volunteers to put on the festival every year. This year we have 24 sports, and we're just anticipating between 10 and 12,000 people.
Oh my gosh, 24?
In our 18th year.
When people were like, how many sports? I was like, basketball, football, soccer, softball.
We have something for everybody.
Yeah.
There's bridge.
Oh, wow.
People don't know that we have bridge.
Which I heard is very serious.
It's way intense. Honestly, they compete the longest. They don't finish till Monday evening.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's pretty insane.
What other sports? Because sports that
well, we have basketball,
yeah.
And this year we're super excited because we have Women's Plus division in basketball.
Yeah,
for the first time. They have quite a few teams, which is pretty amazing. We have International Gay Rodeo is fairly new to us.
Rodeo.
Oh, you got to go check out
Save
the
a horse, ride a cowboy.
Go check out the Cowboys in the opening party.
Ooh,
Look for the ones in the hat.
Yeah.
They keep promising assless
from
chaps,
Texas?
but it hasn't happened yet. But we're super hopeful that's going to happen.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and so every year we have new sports that come on our radar. Last year, Paddle One is a sport that reached out to us, and they exhibited here last year. And it's an interesting sport. It's kind of
like the one in the glass?
Yeah, it's kind of a nation of
tennis,
volleyball, tennis, ping pong, pickleball, all wrapped into one.
I've seen it online, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then we're super hopeful that we'll have diving and swimming next year. We've been working with them.
Give me a ticket.
Yeah,
I need a ticket to go watch Spectators.
So we'll do commentary all of those.
Yeah. And then, obviously kickball and softball are 2 of the larger sports that we have. But you name it. We have wrestling, we have darts, we have indoor rowing, and the list just goes on and on and on.
Indoor rowing. Is that just getting an elliptical?
So you do competition on a rowing machine, and it calculates distance and amount of time, so they compete on land, but on rowing machines.
Do you guys think you ever have CrossFit?
I would love to have CrossFit.
I feel like CrossFit's such a big name on its own, though. You probably have to compete for rights.
Yeah, golf, tennis, all the standards we have. Pickleball was one that it doubled in size we've had it for 2 years now. It just doubled. But things like, CrossFit would be amazing. What a lot of people may or may not know about the festival is that GLASA is a nonprofit softball organization in Los Angeles, the Gay Softball League there. And so we're the parent organization that runs the Sin City Classic, but each sport is run by a different leadership team, and they come from all over the country, like flag football and you name it. Their leadership team runs their own tournament here. So if a group wanted to do mixed martial arts, if someone came to us and had somebody that was willing to run the tournament, we would totally work with them and help them through.
I want to bring in the girl for breakdancing.
Huh?
The girl from
Breakdancing?
breakdancing for
from
Australia.
the Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, if you go watch wrestling, it looks a little bit like that.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's how I break dance.
Yeah.
I get a little down.
Yeah. So
What is like your involvement, as in like why did you choose to be a part of this organization?
Well, so I'm a past commissioner of the softball league in Los Angeles, and our former executive director, Ken Scaris, passed away 4.5 years ago, and I was the commissioner at the time. So it was sort of out of necessity that myself and Larry Ruiz, who was the commissioner prior to me, sort of had to step in and take over the festival in midst of all the planning that Ken had done. But what we know is it's so amazing is that we look back on this weekend and we think this is all done by volunteers, all volunteer
awesome.
run organization. And Ken ushered so many of us into the league. Ken got me into leadership in the league when I was a new softball player. And so, obviously sometimes emergency situations like that necessitate why you get in a role. And then, of course, Larry and I have just continued on. And but we have an amazing team. Lucas Mariano, Nick Berry, David Gary, Rosbug, and Bill Myers all comprise the executive committee. And then we have another committee of about 30 people that are all the actual people that do the actual work when we get here.
That's so awesome.
I mean, you guys.
It's such a good cause.
It is, yeah. What you guys are doing is amazing. Like every year when we tell people about it who don't know about it, and they're like, there's so many athletes just come from across the U.S.
The country, we have them all over the world. We have Canada, Mexico today. This year, Spain is here.
Love that.
Yeah, and we also get told every year. People tell us their stories, and they come from small places, sometimes small town, middle America, where they are not in gay sports leagues or not able to be in gay sports leagues, or even maybe even be who they are. So they come here, they get to have a competitive weekend of sport, and they for some of them it's the one time a year where they truly get to be themselves. And those kind of stories are, I think, for those of us who live in California, we live sort of in a bubble in terms of our safety and all of that.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's a real concern for folks that come from other parts of the country who maybe can't be as out in their home communities.
And I'm sure this is like something to look forward to. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for January to come around.
Yeah,
like,
every
I get to
year.
go to Sin City Classic. I get to be myself. I get to play sports.
Yep.
I get to like have fun, meet new people. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, and we just keep growing, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
24 this year. Next year's gonna be 30.
We hope. And I think one of the things about the festival that continues. We just keep elevating the experience for players and for participants. And our closing party, we've had some amazing talent the last couple of years.
Natasha
Bedingfield, Sasha Colby last year, and JoJo the year before. And so the better the festival does, we're a nonprofit, so we put all of the resources we earn back into the festival. So it just keeps getting better because the festival keeps doing better. We're starting some new events, like we have sober events this year because our community has a lot of sober folks in it. So both tomorrow and Sunday there are sober activities for folks, and then this year we're trying something new down in the El Dorado Ballroom tonight. We're going to do a RuPaul viewing party.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, just trying to
my
keep.
Boyfriend's actually Brandon's going to that tonight.
Yeah,
they're all going to that tonight, and I was like,
should be a lot of fun,
awesome.
and we'll have bars in there and just an opportunity for people to kind of keep tonight going because the registration party technically ends at 9. So
we should go do that.
Actually, we should.
Yeah,
that'd
go
be fun.
And grab some drinks.
yeah, it'd be fun.
What is your favorite thing about being part of this?
So I was just talking to Larry Ruiz. I said, you should come with me. He doesn't like to do interviews. But we were walking down the hall, and he said, he got emotional. He almost got emotional because he saw all the branding, and he saw the clings on the mirrors. And, I think we're always struck on Sunday evening looking out over that closing party because we have a nice little VIP balcony up there.
Okay, my bad, VIP, my bad.
Hello.
And looking over all those folks that are down there. And it's such a monumental feeling to know that, you provided this experience to them, and they're also happy and joyful, and for whatever they came from, they get to have this amazing time here. And I think for me it's always about watching the reaction of our guests that come, and just knowing that they had an amazing experience, and then we just keep trying to elevate the game. And I think all of us we all had different careers. I'm retired. I was a school district superintendent, but my job was challenging as a job, but this is challenging in a different way because we keep trying to make it better for all of you who come. So.
And I think for me personally, a lot of my friends play basketball, and it's great to see them all again, especially for Sin City. But I've also met a bunch of people that play different sports. So I look forward to seeing when it comes to Sin City, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can say the same.
One of the very cool things that's happening is some of the sports are starting earlier and earlier, so people have an opportunity to play more than one sport when they're here. So
I was supposed to play pickleball today, and then basketball split it up. I was kind of mad. I was like, this makes me so mad because
Pickleball is a prime example. Like a lot of our softball players are able to play pickleball on Thursday and Friday and then play softball on Saturday and Sunday. So more and more sports are kind of expanding past this, the typical Saturday, Sunday, and it's becoming more of a festival that really kind of, we now have a welcoming party on Thursday.
Yeah,
there's
was that at the
so many
Gypsy?
people.
Yeah, we were there
last
yeah.
night. Yeah.
Isn't Gypsy a great club?
It was cute.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I honestly was so close to getting up there and singing.
We
I was like,
wanna-
you know
What?
what? I don't want to clear the stage out.
We definitely want to call out Piranha, Gypsy, and Queen,
Oh,
the,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
nightclubs that sponsor us and host all of our parties. They're so amazing to us. And if you go to the closing party, you'll see again this year, Piranha's doing a huge dance number for us with the talent. We have Melanie C, Sporty Spice.
Yeah.
She's there this year. And, we have Lexi Love.
I
She's
saw that. I
performing.
saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, no one knows anything, of course, but it appears that she's going to do well this season on the show. So
We'll see.
excited to
We'll
have
be
her
the judge
too.
of that.
Yeah.
What so we also like to make this a fun podcast. So coming from sports, what's your sports background? Like, are there like male athletes that you like? Like,
Yeah,
who's your
absolutely.
Like male
So
crush?
yeah,
Softball,
I was a
right?
college athlete. I played volleyball in college.
Oh,
and,
bitch! Wait, what you did?
Yes.
What position?
I was setter back when you could be 5'10" and be a college Division I setter. You can't anymore, but
I tell them all the time I love volleyball and I wish I could be a setter. I think setting is just like amazing to be able to dictate the pace in the game.
yep,
That's-
I loved it, and
So
I
you got
also
good, so you got good hands.
I do, and I was a
got big
gymnast
forearms.
most
Would
of
that
my
work?
life. Yeah, so I ended up actually cheering for football in college too.
Oh wow!
Yeah, ran track in high school, cross country,
She
and
did everything.
yeah,
girl.
played volleyball. I played basketball until 9th grade, and then I had to pick between basketball and volleyball because it kind of got more serious for volleyball, and I knew I wanted to play in college and stuff. But now as an adult, I played softball, of course, most of my adult life, and then tennis and pickleball are like I just play every day. So
Where do you play?
but
Pickleball?
we live in Palm Springs for half the year.
Oh,
Do you go to? Wait, I play in Palm Springs sometimes. That that court that has like, I don't even know what it's called.
There's lots to
Rancho-
move.
Rancho-
Mission
Rancho-
Hills.
No, I'm
Rancho
trying to think what it's
Mirage.
called because it's like a thing every time I go to Palm Springs. We have to like immediately go to this.
Well, there's
court.
Mission Hills.
Mission Hills, that's
okay,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they just held the
Mission Hills.
PPA tournament, the
Oh,
national
that's
tournament there. It
fucking
was pretty
awesome.
fun. So.
Oh, that's one where they wear the all
Yeah.
white, right?
Yeah, and then so male
Get all
athletes.
sweaty.
Oh man, I don't know what's going on right now in the NFL, but the referees and umpires. Do you watch pro football?
Yes.
Like I don't
He
know what's
only
going
watches
on with the
Cincinnati.
like they all have massive like muscular arms and bodies.
So you're looking at the refs?
Well, that's hello.
Well, because there's a fucking flag every play.
yeah, check it out. Like, pay attention to the umps
Yeah.
and refs. There's one guy. He's like on all of the major games, and his arms are like the size of my thighs.
Yeah, I know. I think I know who you're talking about. I don't know
Yeah.
his name.
I
but
need to
think
pay
know who
attention
you're
to
talking
that
about.
then.
And the other thing too is there must be a rule right now in the NFL that you have to be good looking and young to be a head coach.
Oh my God, all the coaches.
I mean,
are
I'll take
so
all of
beautiful.
them. Sean McVay.
There's a
Uh,
lot.
Matt
Like,
LaFleur.
do you know
So
Sean
many.
McVay's about this tall
Yeah,
though?
yeah, he's not very tall.
tiny.
That's okay. We like a
We
short
love
king.
short king.
He's like
Be
Nothing
who
wrong with
you
that.
are.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
My attorney said I have to say allegedly.
Mm-hmm. Got to keep it in that. That's funny.
But back in the day, like, because I was, in 70s and 80s, like Greg Louganis, like, man, like, you guys don't even know who I'm talking about.
I was
I've
I
heard
was
the
trying
name.
to be
I've
real
heard the
polite.
name.
I was
This is
trying-
really
I
sad.
was trying to sell it like.
These folks over here, they know who Greg Louganis is.
Yeah, I was
don't
like-
you? They.
Yep,
hello?
right, Kirk?
Kirk.
Yep. Right,
You
Kirk,
know
right,
who
Anthony?
Greg Louganis is, right? They don't even know who Greg Louganis is.
Show me a picture right now. Show me
U.S.
a picture.
Olympic diver. Yes.
Yeah, of course in the Speedo.
Yes, U.S.
wouldn't want
Olympic
it any other
diver,
way.
gold medal diver. He's famous because he hit his head, and he bled in the pool, and he was HIV positive at the time, and no one knew it.
Oh.
But yeah, he's a huge LGBT sporting star for many people my age. We like looked up to him, and he was hot.
Yeah, I
Still
gotta
is
see
hot.
this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanna see this
Yeah.
I gotta
too.
see this. Oh wow.
Yeah.
How did
That's
that?
so
How did that?
cool.
How did people react to that incident years ago with a guy hitting his head?
It was a real scandal. I mean, they can tell you like it was. It was.
Oh,
the,
that's. Oh.
yeah, Greg Louganis.
Greg.
There he is.
Greg Louganis.
Right.
Oh wow. What'd you say?
Greg Louganis.
And there were other divers at the Olympics that refused to go in the pool. It was a real. You think about 80s though, it was still the height of
Yeah.
HIV and AIDS, and people were very afraid and uneducated.
Did his career like kind of plummet after that, or was he able to sort of compete?
He actually, the 80 I think was his last real competitive Olympics, but then he ended up winning the gold that year too.
Good for him.
After a failed
You see, you know what?
dive,
I'm
but-
gonna show you. I'm gonna show you
Yeah.
something.
And I think he went through 84, but I don't think 84 was great for him. I don't recall, but yeah.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. So
Good for him.
So if you could give advice to people who maybe want to come to this festival or haven't heard about it, or even just gay athletes in general, like from your experience, what would you want to say to people as gay athletes?
Well, I think that we live in a time that is really unique. If you think back to when, like, for example, GLASA was formed, or even the national organization, NAGA,
Put it in your mouth, girl.
which is iPride now. This was all clandestine leagues. People were playing in secrecy. They're playing softball in leagues on Sundays in private in parks where, it was not necessarily safe. So I think that for young people who are LGBT and they're a part of sports, like, we don't live in a day anymore where you need to hide.
You really don't.
You should be proud of that. Get out, find the gay leagues in your community, and if they don't have one, start one.
Make one.
Make one.
Exactly.
Start it so you can come to Sin City.
Yeah, exactly. And and then the other thing about Sin City too is we meet people in the hallways all the time that are not even here playing sports.
Yeah.
They're just here because of the festival going on. We met I remember 2 years ago there was a family here from North Dakota. And it was a straight couple, and they had their kids, and they
Really?
brought them to the festival because they wanted to. I mean, talked to the mom and dad in the hallway, and they said, we just have no culture in North Dakota like this for our kids to be exposed
That's
to.
so cool of
I
And
them.
I was
love
like,
that.
I was
I
like,
do
well,
too.
keep them out of the closing party or the opening party because
Maybe keep
they're
them
gonna,
away from that.
There's going to be some things you can't unsee, but
Don't bring them to that bowling alley.
yeah. But I thought that was pretty remarkable.
That is actually really cool.
family was thinking like that. So yeah, to the young gay athletes out there, there's no reason to hide anymore. Like, we need to be proud of ourselves, and you still think about professional sports, and we have a long way to go because we know there's
very
more
long
than
way.
zero out athletes in
Way,
professional
yeah.
sports. I think the women, frankly, have come a lot further than the men have in that regard. Women are out, I think, in larger numbers in professional sports
absolutely.
than men. And we just lost Billy Bean, who was a member of our national softball organization, and he was, regarded as, one of the few people to ever come out as a professional baseball player. He did come out after he retired, but still, think about professional sports now. Name any. There's a couple, but they're not many.
Yeah, it's different when these people are kind of, we've talked about before, that people are kind of coming out later in the career. I know there's Carl Nassib who played a couple years while being out, but like it's the timing of it. It's like, it'd be nice to like see someone probably, hopefully maybe earlier in the career, they're like out.
For a long extended period of time. I was a career-long educator, and I think it was really important. That when I was a student in high school, I was so fortunate enough. I mean, it was a risk in the 80s in northern Michigan to have a teacher that was out teacher. They could still be fired in the 80s and I was so fortunate that I had a teacher in high school that was gay. So I think that when kids look up and can see examples of themselves in any venue, like, we settle in a bit more.
Yeah, like representation.
Absolutely, and I just think that, like, for sport, there's no exception for sport.
Yeah,
like, it's something that young kids are looking for.
So masculine.
You heard last night at the Compete dinner, Sam Lehman, who is involved with gay flag football. He was saying that he was a star athlete in high school, but he was coming to terms with who he was, and he quit sports because he just didn't feel like he fit in the locker room. And
and
that's
if you
pretty
like
sad.
come out and then people like some of your closest friends would be like, you know what, I don't affiliate with you anymore.
Yeah,
I don't,
exactly.
It's unfortunate. Hopefully it'll change soon.
Well, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, guys.
We've been coming to Sin
Absolutely.
City for years, and so like being able to talk to you guys more and just like see the relationship and all the hard work you guys put in, it's amazing. And like for anyone who comes across this,
so
like,
much.
you guys need to come to Sin City. It's such an amazing
Please come to
experience.
Sin City.
Yes,
So
we say
much fun.
come.
Ooh,
With a U.
I like that.
No, and we appreciate the exposure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
of
if you don't,
course.
like you said, even if you don't play sports, just come experience it. It's so much fun. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you,
Great.
Jason.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
of
you
course.
so much.
Yeah.
Good to
Have a
meet
good rest
you
of the day.
both. Appreciate you.
Have fun rest of this weekend and don't work too hard.
Don't
Yeah,
work too
that-
hard.
that-
Have a little
that
fun,
ship sailed.
fun.
Yeah, have a little fun. Yeah, exactly.
All right. We are back, and our next we're back.
We're back, girls. Yeah.
Back
Back
again. We have another amazing guest. This is Anthony, and I'm gonna let him tell you guys a little bit about himself. And the floor is yours.
What's up, guys? How are you? My name's Anthony Nicodemo. I'm the varsity basketball coach and athletic director at Greenberg North Castle School District, just outside of New York City.
Ooh, I can hear the thick
I
accent.
hear that.
It's
accent.
there.
hear
It's
it.
there. It's there.
It's there. I can hear it. Ooh,
I hear
yeah.
it too. That's awesome. How
So-
long you been a coach for? How long
Oh
you been
God,
there?
I'm getting old. I've been coaching since I was 18, so about 27 years.
That's awesome.
I started coaching really young and worked my way up to the varsity level, and I think this is my 20th year or so as a varsity coach.
Damn,
so
that's
I'm doing it a
awesome.
long time.
That's huge.
So what's the story about you being publicly out? How did that all come about being able to say that comfortably for people to know that about you?
So I was invited to an event at Nike in Portland, this LGBTQ Sports Coalition event that they were having at the time, and I went to the event closeted. I knew a couple people kind of, but I was invited, and it was empowering. I was able to get there and meet people like Kirk Walker and Wade Davis and Billy Beane and these people who were just I had read about. And when I left, it was like, holy cow, there's other people that are out in the sports world. Mm-hmm. And it was the time, right? I came back and I landed in New York, and I was like, all right, I need to start telling people. And within a week, I told the right people. I told my team. The media got a hold of it. It became this national news story. And then, the rest is history. Lucky enough, I've had the best years of my career, the most successful years of my career as an out coach.
Okay, I was.
So I think that correlates.
Yeah,
I think
was gonna say, how did they take that? Like, everyone's like accepting, or did people have doubts about you as a coach?
I was lucky. My kids were awesome. Mm-hmm. I told the kids in the locker room, and one of my former players actually at the time says, "I need to talk to the team. Coach, can you step out?" I stepped out. We went back into practice, and we did a lot of winning after that. So we went through about a 5-year period where we won every game in the league. We won 50 straight games. We won 4 city championships.
50?
Yeah, we were. That's the 100th win.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
I mean,
that's nice.
Thank you.
My eyes shining.
So we did a lot of winning since then. So it was a fun journey. It's been a fun journey. Getting to be an athletic director now. Is new. It's a different challenge, right? It's not just dealing with the kids. It's dealing with my peers as athletic directors who sometimes don't recognize the change that needs to be made. Mm-hmm. So having a seat at that table is different, but I think almost as important as coaching, because that's where the change made, right? Mm-hmm. But people in charge. So, exactly. I enjoy it. I have the best job in the world, and I say that every single day. I love teaching. I love going to work. I love coaching my kids. I love going to these meetings and having a voice and standing up for people. So. I'm not a religious person, but if I was to say blessed, I could say I'm pretty blessed.
Yeah, it still works.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're part of a sports foundation, correct?
Yeah, I'm on the board of directors for the Sports Equality Foundation, which is a organization that works for inclusion in sports. We have some unbelievable board members that are here, Kirk Walker and Connor Mertens and Robert Goldman and these different people from throughout the sports world that work on inclusion, different events. We're actually here this weekend doing our board meetings. In August, we're going to have a great event here in Vegas, celebration of sport. So we're going to have some stuff going on around that with honoring some LGBTQ sports legends. The announcement's coming later this week. It's a tease, but there's some stuff coming out. Some stuff, yeah.
We like a little tease, though.
Some stuff coming out later this week, and it's a really good organization. We do a lot of education. I get to go to these various conferences throughout the year. We have some great education modules that were written by LGBTQ coaches. So it's not like having these advocates that come in and aren't in the space anymore. We like to do a lot of that in our community. We like to pay people to consult when you have people who are actually dealing with kids every day in the space. So one of our goals is to get the people who are actually on the ground every day with different kids and different groups to teach others what needs to be done, to educate people. So we got some really good work going on.
That's okay.
So I want to know, how does the bond with your players work on the friendship level? Is there fun joking around about do they ask you about your love life? So each group is different, right? Depends on the group of kids, how old they are, how young they are. I mean, the group that when I came out, I was extremely close with, and that group did so much winning that our bond was insanity. I mean, even now, one of the players who was in the room when I came out is my assistant coach. He's actually home right now in New York at my house watching my dog because he's now my assistant coach. He's kind of like my right hand. He does everything for me. I don't have to worry about my dog when I'm gone. I don't have to worry about my program. He's running practice for me. So the bonds that are created, at this point, I've had players come to gay bars with me when they were in college, of course. Really?
Years later, meeting me and going to gay bars with me, straight players.
Yeah.
So the embrace is there. I think we muck it up, politically in this country. We're in such a bad place right now that there's people who get out there and put things in people's heads that just aren't true. So if you have a good relationship with your kids, it's what it is.
Yeah.
I had people come after me, you're a groomer. It happens on Twitter all the time.
That's such a scapegoat. It's such a lame excuse.
It doesn't. To me, it's like, whatever. My kids know. They make jokes. One of them was texting me this morning, and I was like, dude, He's like, Coach, how's Vegas? I'm like, well, it's 4 a.m., so I'm sleeping. He's like, oh, I forgot
What
the
are
time.
you doing
change.
at- Oh, yeah,
He's on his way to
New
school.
York, yeah.
But it's a fun dynamic to have, and I think in a lot of ways it exposes these kids, right? If they're not getting it at home or they're not getting it in their neighborhood, I have a lot of inner city kids. They're getting it from me. So when they go to college, they go to the next level, and they might have a gay roommate. They might have a trans roommate. They might have to go to.
Yeah, I also feel like it kind of gets rid of that stigma, like, oh, like gay guys can play basketball, they can be coaches, they can be great, they can be successful, they can be in the sport of competition, and like in such a masculine world.
Oh, I mean, the first for years pre-COVID, we used to actually coach in suits. Now we don't coach in suits anymore. We got smart. I wore, a rainbow lapel everywhere I went. Didn't matter what gym we were in, I wore that. And I thought it was important for the kids that might be in the stands, maybe watching, hey, what's going on here? Or even a coach, you don't know what people have to. So I thought it was an important piece. The year that I came out,
Statement piece.
Yeah, well, the year I came out in 2013, the story was so big. It was really the beginning of Nike's Be True line. So Nike sent me all these shirts, like a box. So I drew them to the kids. I said, all right, guys. First game, I walk into the locker room. The kids were all wearing Be True shirts. I almost fell on the floor.
I would have cried.
Well,
immediately.
that was
I
a
would've
piece of it.
cried.
Then the other piece was like, I'm going to get death threats after this. This is going to be
yeah.
great. And the picture hanging in my living room is the entire team lined up, and they're all in their Be True shirts.
And it's not like you're like, hey, put these on.
No, I didn't
And
know they were
just-
doing
did
it.
for the- they
I had
did
no
themselves.
idea. Like I said, I walked into the locker room. And I was
Yeah.
like, what are you guys doing? What's this?
I love that.
Yeah, and we
love
won the
that
game,
so
I think, by 1, if I remember right, that game. So, the kids get it. It's
They
the
do.
adults that are the disasters out
the
there.
adults are
Kids,
the worst,
kids
yeah.
understand. Kids get it.
What?
awesome.
What? So if you've been coaching for a while, since we're basketball guys, what is your thoughts on progression of skill level from back then to now, and how the basketball game has changed with talent and IQ?
Everything's changed.
What is do you like where it's going? Are you frustrated about how things are being played?
I'm a progressive person. Like I kind of, a lot of the old school guys who I coach with. Oh my God, they're paying the players, and this is life. This is what happens, right? So like I argue with my assistants, not my younger assistants, but they say, "Oh, coach, we shoot too many threes." I'm like, "This is the game. The
Literally,
game
the
has
game
progressed,
is a three-point
and
game
if
now.
you can't handle as a coach the progression of the game, you can't coach anymore."
Yeah, step
And
down.
Frank Martin from UMass, right, had this crazy quote: "Kids haven't changed, the adults changed." Kids have changed. I assure you of that. These kids are not the same way they were 20 years ago. They're not the same they were 10 years ago. Social media, phones, all these things have changed the way life is. So to say kids haven't changed is ridiculous.
Yeah.
My practices are nowhere near what they were 10 years ago because the kids have changed. I can't run I used to run 3-hour practices. If I ran a 3-hour practice now, the kids would be talking to themselves. I can't even get 2 hours anymore. They don't have the attention span because of the devices and the computers. So the game has changed. Like I said, there are shots that if these kids took these shots 5 years ago or 6, I would have lost my
They're
mind.
easily benched.
Out.
So-
You know what?
so out.
Now
Get
I
your
look at
ass
the bench
out.
and my assistant who played for me, who's a great player, played college basketball. He was an absolute great player. One of his best games, he hit a shot at the buzzer to beat an Ossining team that had O.B. Toppin on the team.
Oh, shit.
And he had the kid, one of the couple of kids that went to Duke there. They were younger at the time. The Griffin kid from
Oh,
Duke.
yeah.
They had this
Okay. AJ
and the
Griffin,
other
right?
Griffin that went to
Yeah.
Illinois. They were all on the
Yeah.
same team. And then
Yeah.
Toppin's brother who ended up in Kentucky. They were all on the same high school team. And we beat him. We came back and he says to me, like, in practice, that coach, he's like, "You're so soft now." He's like, "You got soft." I didn't get soft. I adapted to the game. And if I tried to be a hard ass like I was 15 years ago, I wouldn't have a team. Exactly. So it's a big part of it. And I think you see the great coaches continue on. I think a couple weeks, right, we saw Jimmy Larinaga retire. I know Jim. I love Jim. He's a great coach. Jim Larinaga had a guy making $1 million a year, the first big-time player 3 years ago. He took him to the Final Four. Now he's quitting because players are being paid. Wait a minute. You had no problem when this guy was making $1 million, and that guy set the standard for the rest of college basketball.
Exactly.
And, even a guy from Virginia retired to go quit. The game's changing. And I think the great coaches can adapt. Rick Pitino is coaching at St. John's right now, and he's doing a bang-up job. He's got a great staff, and he's coaching. And guy's one of the older coaches out there. He's adapting because he is that good. Calipari's the same way. He knew it was time to get out of Kentucky. Hey, I'm going to go to Arkansas. Still recruiting big players. That's the great ones. They can adapt to the times. Bobby Knight should have been in jail in
Throwing chairs,
1987
throwing chairs.
for the way he treated kids.
My gosh,
And-
so terribly.
Oh, I
So
mean, I've
terribly.
done some stuff with the NBA, and I kind of don't use names in that environment because I don't know who's there, who's an alum or whatever. But like, that was everything that was wrong with coaching, the way that he treated those kids. I mean, the guy took out a whip. with Calbertini, and it's like, a whip?
Yeah,
with a black
A
player?
whip?
A whip. And he said, this is what I do to my players with a black player.
That's crazy.
But it was okay, right? So guys like that can never survive nowadays. That's why he got canned in Indiana when he pushed the kid in the life at the cafeteria. So change is important. And I think that we're paying players, rightfully so. I think these kids deserve to be paid. And the fact that these coaches can up and leave whenever they want, but the kids can't, it's not fair. Yeah. And I think we're going that direction, and it's going to continue to be that way. Now the 5 years they're talking about, and the JUCO kids now can get now they get to JUCO +4, so you could be a 6-year. These kids are going to be 28 years old.
Yeah.
I have a kid right now who played for me. He was one of the better players I ever coached. He was a first-team All-Conference kid. He's still playing. He graduated high school in 2018.
Damn.
And he's a junior. He kind of did the route. He went to
lot.
JUCO. He went to
I'm like-
prep
He did.
school.
He
Yeah.
did.
But you know what? He's won player of the week in his conference like 4 times this year already. Kid's killing it.
Good for him.
So, sometimes kids need that too. It's going to change the game, and it's
A little time to find yourself.
so you have to adjust, and if you adjust, you'll be able to survive, right?
Yeah.
It's a really important.
You knew about surviving. Look at
I
that
know.
ring.
Look at that ring.
You're
I don't
doing
know.
so well.
This is a nice one, and we think on the way here, I was doing some AD work before I left, and I started adding up some games, and I was like, I added up that I was at 199.
That's a
Damn.
lot.
And I'm like,
That's a lot.
because 200's a pretty big milestone. So
Yeah,
I have
it's
to
a
do the
huge
math
milestone.
again.
Yeah.
I might be close. I don't know how close, but if 199, 200 could be on
right around the
Tuesday.
corner. It's
So
right
we'll
around the
see.
corner.
I got to add it up again before I fly home.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We'd love for you to get that 200. You got to
Oh,
let us know.
1000%.
You need to get that 200.
Yeah,
and let us
you
know.
guys got to go to the Final Four, the NBA All-Star Game, get this out there.
Oh, we'd
It's-
love that.
It's really important at these events. And these events the NBA is second to none when it comes to inclusion, by the way. They're not even close. They are the best organization out there. I'm doing an event at the Final Four this year where we're doing an LGBTQ youth clinic. So it's something I've always kind of thought of, and I reached out to the Pride Center in San Antonio, and I was like, hey, they loved it. This is great. So I just started reaching out. Well, now all of a sudden, AFT Texas and the NBA is involved. I got Jason Collins coming.
Love that.
It's going to be an awesome event. The Spurs are involved. It's going to be at the Spurs practice facility. We're going to have 80 kids, LGBTQ, and allies.
82.
Yeah, 82. You guys,
82.
come.
We'll be there.
And
I'll
we're
show you
doing
the corner.
Yeah, but it's so important to do these kind of things for the kids so they know that they're accepted, right? It's a big piece of an educational piece. So, as I said, you guys should come to the Final Four.
Yes.
Go to the
Oh,
Go to the
that'd be
All-Star
so
games in
big.
California this year.
Yes.
It's in San Francisco.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Little ways.
We'd love to be involved.
We should,
Do
actually.
Yeah,
something,
that's
you know?
good stuff. Yeah.
Okay, before you ask, as a basketball player, quick answer. What is your biggest basketball pet peeve that a player does that you hate?
Oh God, this year's team. If you saw this year's team, everything's a pet peeve. They're not very good. Everything's a struggle. Points off turnovers, my biggest stat. It drives me
Yeah, okay.
absolutely. It makes me nuts in a game. That's the first stat I go to. I don't go to rebounds. I don't care anymore. I go right to points off turnovers. If you turn the ball over, something like kids are scoring, and when you turn the ball over, it's always easy baskets, right? Because
Yeah.
you turn it over
It's a
half
fast
court,
break,
it's 2
easy
on 1,
break,
game over.
2-on-1, yeah.
The other day I got my stats. We played a really bad game before I left on Wednesday night, and I got it back, and it was like 28 points off turnover. I was like,
That's
of
a
course.
lot.
I'm
That
like,
is a
yeah,
lot.
28.
That is
I'm
a
like, of course we're
lot.
going to lose a damn game.
Yeah.
And every game this year that we've lost, we've got murdered turnovers, points off turnovers. So that's my biggest piece is those points off turnovers. You got to figure out a way to stop that. But
Yeah, absolutely.
teams could when high school basketball, if it's bad basketball, sometimes it's bad
It's
basketball.
bad,
It's
yeah.
bad.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the turnovers, you can't do everything about that. But that's my stat.
Yeah.
It drives, and the kids know it. It drives me crazy. That's the
It's
first thing
highlighted.
I go to.
Right there, first
It's
thing.
highlighted in the locker room.
Go right because I
Bold.
get my stuff. I upload the video and I huddle breaks it down for me. Stats come in. First one, points off turnovers. I'm like 28 points off. We're not beating anybody. We
Yeah.
couldn't beat anybody with 28. We could put one guy out there. We're going to lose the game. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming
Yes,
on.
thank you so
It's
much.
No,
nice to
and
meet
the
you.
work you're doing, it's really important. It's not coaches or players. It's the allies. It's people like you folks putting podcasts, having people who don't necessarily have a voice and don't have these conversations because they're in the community where they turn on your podcast and they go, hey, look, there's gay people that like sports. There's gay
Yeah.
people that like basketball. So thanks for all the work you're doing. It's really important
No,
stuff
thank you
across
for
the
the work
board.
you're doing.
Yeah,
So-
thank you for everything.
Yeah,
and thank you for
absolutely.
reaching out and
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can contact you and work more through
Yeah,
your foundation
absolutely.
and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Mr. Kirk Walker, I'll be in contact with you and come to, back in LA. Kirk, we'll have to be in contact with your foundation. Talk when we're back in LA.
He's the point. He's good. He's good.
Cool. Thank you very
So,
much, Anthony.
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
guys.
Good one. Have
Thank
the rest
you.
of the
Good
weekend.
luck in the rest of your
Enjoy.
season as well.
Thank you. I need it.
And we're back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. Playing Ty, Scott, and this is Todd. Todd, tell us about yourself.
Why is your voice so high, first of all?
Hello, it's me, my balls haven't dropped.
Yeah.
I'm still young at heart.
Yes. My name's Todd Green, and I'm a volunteer with Pride Cheerleading Association. I've was with Cheer Seattle, which is part of their
I'm from
squad.
County, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm from
okay.
Kitsap County,
All right,
so-
I'm
great.
from Colorado.
Girl, don't ask to be involved. She said,
I want to feel included. Hello.
Get part of it. Yeah. Okay.
Don't exclude me.
So I was with Cheer Seattle for about 7 years. I was on the board and board president. I was also a performing member with Cheer Seattle.
Nice. Are you originally from Seattle as well?
I lived in Seattle for 30 years, and
Okay.
Recently I've moved here to Las
Oh, you're in
Vegas. So I'm in Vegas now.
So you're a Vegas. Are you cheer for the Raiders?
No.
Me either.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Seahawks
No.
fan.
I'm trying to find my team now. You know?
You want to join the Burrow?
Well, you-
the
no,
Burrow
no,
wagon?
shut
The
up.
Burrow wagon with
No,
Burrow wagon with me?
You can be a Bronco if you want.
No, I'll pass on that one. But
You
thanks.
know what? It was nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Who's
Right
next?
there.
Next guest. Yeah. So who would you want to root for, though? Who are you leaning towards?
I would love to see both Buffalo and Detroit in the
Oh my God.
Super Bowl.
I want
Just
to see Detroit do
Yeah.
so well this season.
you know, neither of them have won
Exactly,
the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Let's get them both in there, and then we have a
love underdogs,
guaranteed
and we
new
just
winner.
hate the
So
Chiefs, right?
We hate
the
Everybody,
Chiefs.
everybody
Hate the
hates the
Chiefs.
Chiefs, right? Everybody agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
That's all.
No,
We
but
hate
that's
the
who we're
Chiefs.
rooting for, too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So your involvement in the cheerleading organization, what is your role? What do you do?
Right now, I'm really just volunteer. Since I've moved to Vegas, there's not a team here in Vegas. So when they come to Sin City and Las Vegas, I help out. I'm going to be running the, performances
Okay, I can do that.
Well,
behind
we-
the scenes.
I
So
wonder, do you guys put on the performance for basketball, right? Because there's always
Oh,
a performance
yeah,
for
you guys-
on Sundays. There's always a
yes, yeah.
performance.
So
She said
and on
fun.
Sunday is actually the competition.
Okay.
So I'll be back in the room, kind of getting people ready before they hit the floor because they have to do a little warm up, of
That's
course,
awesome.
first. So.
Todd.
Did you also cheer yourself? Did you
Yes. So
Okay.
I cheered in high school and then with Cheer Seattle was a
Okay.
performing member for about 7 years.
Okay.
What was your experience
Pretty shady
cheerleading in
stuff.
high school?
I didn't cheer in high school, college. Sorry.
Okay, it's college.
College, yeah.
How was that like? What was that? Was it accepting? Was it fun? Did you get a lot of hot guys or girls at the time?
At the time. So I wasn't out when I was cheering in college, but I guess not until the senior year. Last year I was out, and it was really accepting. It was actually in Utah, believe it or not. So
Mormon
that was
boys.
interesting.
Was it at like BYU?
Oh God, no.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
No.
not bad.
It was at a small school, Southern Utah University, which
Okay.
is in the southern end of the state. So very different because that is all where you're cheering for, definitely for sports. With Cheer Seattle and all of the Pride Cheerleading Association teams, they're really cheering during Pride events. They're cheering during and performing during Pride events. We do a lot of fundraisers. We can do corporate events. Everything is there to raise money,
That's
and
awesome.
it goes back to the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah. So everything you do is for the community.
Yes,
Which is
yeah.
Amazing.
What is the reason why that you're part of the cheer? Like even when you did it in college, like what was like the draw towards it? You're just a happy person.
College.
or really you're just like, kind of always sad. So like I need to put myself out there.
No.
Try to force being happy.
College, it was more. It actually was my sister. She's a year older. She got me involved. She drugged me along. I tried out, made the team, and then it went from there.
It's all downhill from there.
All downhill, all uphill, really.
Yeah.
And then it was
Upkick.
Yeah, it was really. That was my last year in college was 1990. And then I didn't start cheering until 2015 with Cheer Seattle. So there was quite a difference, and a lot of things that I could do, of course, I can't do once you're
Were
as
you a
you
high
get
flyer?
older.
Did they throw you in the air?
No, I was usually throwing other people in
yeah,
the
I was
air.
like, the
but
guys are usually holding them up.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I would be a high flyer. I need some big bitches to pick
yeah,
me up.
I
yeah,
was
I did fly. I have flown, but that's not my role, especially once I was older. Keep my feet on the ground.
When you're doing cheer stuff and performances, like how does the mind work of like performances and creativity and strategy? Like, I watch cheer competitions because I think it's kind of interesting. But
I've seen Bring It On. I know cheer hands.
Yes.
Spare fingers.
Spare fingers?
But, like what are you guys all like trying to do? Are there like things and points that you're trying to do during performances, like certain sequences? Like how does it all work?
It really varies depending on the competition. If you talk about what we do now, we're really there to entertain the crowd. So what people like to see is bodies going up in the air. So as long as things are going up, everybody's excited. Some
like
of
my
our
legs.
Body parts up.
What's funny is some of what we consider some of the easier stunts to perform, the crowd really loves. They go wild for. So we'll do those. And then I guess there's a little bit that we hold back and we keep to ourselves where we're like, we're going to do this other stunt, which is really hard, and we'd like to perform it just because of the difficulty. So we mix those things together. But really now it's all about performing to the crowd. That really helps us when we then hit the crowd afterwards most of the time to raise money. So we're out bucketing. We literally have buckets and are asking for people to donate. So
that's funny.
after.
So of like all the years you've been cheering, like what's your like most memorable performance like that you like?
Wow.
You could get up right now and like hit
And do it.
and like do it right now.
That's not going to happen.
Come on, you got to just give us something.
Come on. No. Yeah.
Most memorable performance. Wow. I think probably the first year our team, Cheer Seattle, that at least that I went down to Long Beach, and it was part of Long Beach Pride. So that was the first time that I had been around the rest of the PCA teams and performed. And it was really the first time I had performed in 20 plus years in front of the crowd. So that was the most rewarding performance that I had.
That's amazing.
And that's still a memory to look back on.
I get that.
Do you have any fun like experiences or stories, like maybe a crazy tumble or anything like that, or like you fell, or like maybe you hooked up with a really hot guy?
In Utah.
That will keep secret.
But no.
I plead the fifth on that one.
Yes. I think what people don't realize, and we joke about this, at least within the team, is cheerleading is a contact sport. So there was one season where I had 5 different black eyes. So
at once?
No, just like it would heal, and then a couple weeks
gosh,
later,
I'm
I'd get another black eye.
Our minds went dirty.
I heard incorrectly. You said black eyes, and so I was
I thought you said I had 5 black guys. That's why I said at once.
You heard that too. I know you did.
That's why I said at once.
Yeah,
okay.
once.
No,
I was like,
all
wait,
right.
Okay. Are you gonna keep going with it?
I was like, do tell.
I just changed the whole dynamic of the
was
room.
like, okay.
No
You know
black
what, this podcast
eyes,
turned
like
to
I
Okay.
still have a couple scars from
I bet I would
the
have scars
contact
too if I had
sport.
5 black guys at once. Shit.
Which then you go to work, and of course I'm going to work, and work's like, do we need to intervene with something? And I said,
they said, how's your home life?
yeah,
Are you
exactly.
okay?
That's exactly what they were talking about. And I was like, you should see the other guy. They're like, geez, 5 foot nothing and 105 pounds. And, usually you have to have some levity behind some of that.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
Do you feel any sort of do people give any sort of backlash to cheer? Like, do people make fun of it a lot, or like, is there like anything like heat? Because I'm not trying to be rude about it, but I don't think it's a sport that people think of right away.
No.
So when they see cheerleaders and people are like,
So, I can give you a couple examples. When in college, when we were at camp, we were asked about that. It's like, what do you do when people start harassing? And because this was in the late '80s in Utah, and the guy said, "Well, what I do is I just do a back tuck and walk away."
Watch me do this. How about you try this?
Yeah, and then another thing that we would do is we would then invite like the football team and people to come try it.
Oh, that's fun. And be like, you can't do this, huh?
They can do it.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it. So we could throw a girl in the air and catch her, and they couldn't even really get her off the ground.
They can't
very
even do a
hard.
handstand.
Yeah,
so they couldn't even pick those girls
So that
up?
was fun. I think once I was older, and especially when we were as part of Cheer Seattle, it wasn't because of what we were doing. We were there really to support community, whether it was the LGBTQI community or not. We were really there for that purpose. So because of that, we didn't really have a lot of backlash.
Oh, I see.
But I do agree there's still people that don't think of it as a sport, and I'm like, you should come try it. You should come try it because it's a lot of work. It's a lot harder
those
than people.
Performances are like 10 minutes long. Yeah. I feel like when I'm watching it, like sometimes I'm scrolling through TikTok. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
I can't even remember the first 30 seconds of what I'm doing. So to remember a 10-minute dance performance.
There's a lot of athleticism, and I think people really don't respect that, like what they're actually doing, of the tumbling, and it's a lot harder, I think, than people think. I bet, again, it's like the story. Once you try it, you're like, okay, this is a lot harder than actually watching it, and it's not as easy as I think by just seeing it.
And I think that's starting to change, and it's changing quickly. We were excited this year with the PD Award, which came from. We are now the sports team of the year.
Oh,
so
nice. That's awesome.
yeah,
Congrats.
So that was really nice. That was
Yeah.
a nice, and that's a good achievement that people are recognizing that it is a sport.
Yeah,
That's
good.
awesome. Congratulations again.
So, okay, we always try to do at least one fun question.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Scott's going to ask you something raunchy.
Okay.
How many black guys again?
I hate you. Okay, so what is the biggest turn on for you in a athlete?
The biggest turn on in an athlete?
Could they throw a football, maybe toss a girl up in the air, shoot a nice jump shot, just a really nice muscular back?
I think it's really nice muscular shoulders, especially when they've been working out and they're a little sweaty. That's
Oh, you like to see the glisten.
That's the glisten,
Like a little
the rounded
turkey
shoulders
ham.
and the glistening.
So
yeah.
So now I'm thinking about it before you leave. So there are a lot more male cheerleaders out. What's the difference in gay male cheerleaders and straight male cheerleaders? Like, is there a percentage? Like, is it usually actually more straight or gay? Or are there a lot more straight
that's a good
guys
question.
who actually do cheer than people might think?
That is a
I
great
think there's a
question.
lot more straight guys that cheer than people think. There's a lot of guys that get pulled into it, quite frankly, from their girlfriends.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say,
And,
do
you
they
know,
get pulled into it because it's like an easy way to pick up women?
Sometimes, and then they
Okay.
realize that it's hard.
And then they realize the guys want them more than the women?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Give and take.
but if it is fun to watch people when they first try it. There are some people that are naturally really good at it, so you have to be careful of that as well.
Yeah.
Even when we've had those clinics, people come in that have never done it before, and they pick it up right away.
That's awesome.
So that's always fun to see. And then there's other people that you would expect to be really good,
And they're not.
and it's a lot of timing with any of it. It's a lot of trust, and I think that's one of the things that's quite a bit different. Yeah,
Trust fall, but
Yeah.
I'll let him go.
yeah, but you do the trust fall. But first, we're going to throw you in the air.
I'm like, they beat me today, drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so it's fun. It's a lot. It's just a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for
We
coming on.
appreciate
you coming
on.
Appreciate
All
it.
right,
I'm
thank
sure
you.
We'll see the below performances.
Yes.
Yes,
Weekend,
yes,
so-
absolutely.
We definitely will see you.
Yeah.
And congratulations again on your
award.
Yeah.
All right.
And she said,
Great.
Burr, it's cold in here.
Come here, let me show you up.
Yes, girl.
I'm going to drop you. You just can't play the rest of
Thank you so much.
All right, thank
Last guest of today's pod.
And our favorite. Just
And my
because
favorite. This guy is very special to me because he is my teammate in these basketball games and love and one of my friends and love him so much.
Absolutely.
What's your name?
Fuck this bitch.
My name's-
Introduce yourself.
My name's AJ Rutledge, originally from Rochester, New York, and currently living in Miami.
Okay.
Welcome to Miami. Anyways,
True.
AJ, give a little history about you as an athlete and your story a little bit.
Absolutely. So I played high school, college basketball, played for a Division II school in Buffalo, New York. That's where I got my degree at. After that, I pursued overseas basketball. So I played about 4 to 5 years in some small leagues. I played in Mexico, Singapore, had some opportunities to play in Netherlands, had some G League actually. Contacts actually reached out to me to give it a try as well too. So
This man is a beast on the court.
Baller.
by the way.
used to be
Beast.
But-
I still is a beast.
old.
Shut the fuck up.
No,
Don't say nothing
no.
slick.
Luckily, she don't try as hard. I feel like sometimes.
Oh,
That's
he
not-
almost dunked on your ass.
I know.
today.
Well, yeah.
I
Of course,
saw-
I'm gonna let her fly by. Go ahead, girl.
He went up and I saw you just move.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not getting dunked on. But this isn't like a shade thing to me. I just sometimes I look at you. I'm like, I feel like you're not trying.
No, I mean, I love the game of basketball, and I always love the game of basketball. But I also know that, I joined the NGBA for the friendships that I didn't have. You know what I mean? So, win or lose, I'm good.
Yeah.
I played on high levels of basketball.
high
So,
level.
honestly, I want to get home, not hurt,
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
to be honest.
Yeah, people get
that's
hurt,
literally it.
So
So,
speaking of high levels of basketball, were you openly gay playing in college and
Nope.
overseas and like
So,
G League?
nope. So actually, I came out in 2016 to family publicly,
Okay.
and in 2017 publicly, and then I had an article in Outsports around 2017,
Remember that.
2018. But at that time I came out, I was living in Miami, no family, nobody to actually lean on, like
Yeah.
no gay friends, nothing like that at all that I could talk to and confide in. I had to figure it out all by myself in Miami. It was
that's
really
hard.
rough,
Yeah.
and it was at a time when I just lost my mother. I lost my mother in 2014. Moved to Miami by myself. I had like a best friend and his wife were also in Miami, so I was there. But it was very rough times for me. I cried a lot.
I
cried a lot.
I'm at right now.
Cried
like,
a
all, like,
lot.
tear,
I know.
I
like-
cried a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no manual, right?
There is no manual.
There's no one to tell you like what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it. You do find people that will try to tell you what you should be into and what
then
you
you
should
run
be
the
at.
opposite way.
And I'm like, no, I want to be myself. I'm loved by my family. My family loved me for who I am. My friends love me for who I am. And that's what I think is very big about community. Once you find your people, you're good. But it
Exactly.
takes a lot of time to get there.
It does take a lot of time. Absolutely.
You know,
I
so-
couldn't agree with you more.
It was very, very rough. But my dad is my biggest supporter. My dad has been to tournaments.
Yeah,
you know
like,
that.
I've met your dad. Your dad's awesome.
Talked to my dad. He loves our team. You know what I mean? So I've been really blessed that, and I think also lucky for me is that like because of the way I am and how I carry myself, I don't think it was an issue for my family.
Yeah.
So it was
I
lucky
was just
for
gonna
them.
ask, yeah.
It was lucky for them
Yeah.
how I was. You know what I mean?
And
but
I'm sure they
like,
felt so good. Like, I'm so happy that
Yeah,
he
did
can
they-
be you who you are.
Did
like,
they know and just kind of we kind of let him figure it out? at his own
honestly,
pace?
none of my family actually said they knew or anything like that. My sister kind of gave a hint. She said she knew, but my sister don't know nothing. She don't know nothing.
Nothing.
And if you see this, you still don't know nothing. I want you to know that. You should know that.
You know something.
Yeah, you don't know that. But nah, I mean, honestly, I think like for me, like I just carried myself like this. The same way I am was how I was when I played ball. I'm friendly with everybody.
You
I'm
are
cool. I'm
friendly
chill.
person.
I don't drink. I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I never done either. You know what I mean? So you never see me acting
Me
out of
either.
control.
Like out of pocket. Or anything?
That's what I mean.
Girl,
You know?
we
So
don't lie on here.
I got blessed in that way. I really got put in a good situation. And then when I joined the NGBA, to be honest, that was like the start of this bond that I have with you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been grateful because when I came out, I was like, yo, Mark, I just want friends.
Yeah.
Like, don't put me in no drama, no nothing. I just want to make friends in this. It's not about the basketball part. Like, it's cool. I love that everybody wants to talk about basketball and I can actually understand it. But, like, I want a good situation. And it's been the greatest situation.
Love that.
You've been
So-
a great addition to the NGBA.
You really
I appreciate that. I really
remember
do.
when I first joined NGBA, I was playing with I think
SoCal,
SoCal.
Yeah, you're playing. Girl, for some reason she was
the
playing
Burgundy
C.
team. Yeah,
She
yeah.
was playing
Yeah, I was
C.
playing,
C.
Yeah, but then I was watching some of the games and I saw you play and I was like, damn. And I asked him, I don't know who I asked. I was like, is that guy gay? And they're like, yeah, he's gay. And I was like, no.
So that was my first tournament in Philly. When I
Yeah,
played
it
my
was
first
Philly, it was
tournament,
Philly.
they literally asked me. Well, it was rumors going around saying, "Hey, like he's not gay. Like who brought him here? Like saying stuff about me when I was just right there. No one would talk to me.
Like,
So why are y'all talking
intimidated.
about me?
Yeah.
Like why y'all talking about
come up
me?
and say
Just
hi
come
to
out.
me.
Literally,
Yeah, ask me my
like
name.
ask me a
Yeah.
question and I give you an answer. You know what I mean? So it was very weird, but kind of got through that phase. I almost didn't come back. First started a bit. We won, undefeated, won it all. But luckily, like I said, Danny was great. Danny was great, and
Danny
he's
has
been a
been
great
really
role
good,
model.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's kind of let me take this team. You know what I mean? And I own it. You know what I mean?
Big
He
captain.
brought me to you.
You're
And
a
like
big captain.
he was like, "Yo, I got 2 players." I was like,
I
"Bring
remember
them."
that, yeah.
I was like, "Bring them." These old dudes is getting on my head. Get them out of
I
here.
remember, yeah,
I
that
need some
first
youth.
year they came and I
Bruh.
came to play with y'all. That was fun.
I told him, I was like, he was like, "Yo, I got 2 that's ready to play. They play college." I said, "Why are they playing there? If they played in college, why are they playing there? Stop, move them."
we just had to get our feet wet.
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah. I
NGBA.
get it. I get it. I had just started playing like 2 years prior to that, or a year and a half prior. So
What
it just
was
worked out.
So was it hard for you being gay at this high level of basketball in different countries and where you played at? That's
Being
that's
closeted, yeah.
yeah, that's kind of difficult. Pretty difficult, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been had I had a focus on that. I wasn't focused on meeting anybody, making relationships. So in my mind, I was just about basketball. Like, I never had been in a relationship, girl nor guy. Yeah. So, like, it wasn't a thought. Like, I was like, oh, my God, I just can't wait to find somebody and just be myself. It wasn't that. So, like, I kind of could throw that to the back burner. Right? Yeah. I focused on my career. Like, basketball was most important to me. And only after a certain period of life where it started to be a focal point, because I think once my mom passed away, you know what I mean, I was also in Miami. A lot of people just started saying, like, you're attractive without even caring. Miami was so open, and I was like, this is new. I'm from a smaller city. Like, so a lot of people are not forward with that.
Yeah, and just
you know what I mean?
Like, oh,
yeah, so I was like, wait a minute, sir. Wait, what's going on here? What do you see?
You're looking at me like, actually, I'm real cool.
You know what I mean? Like, I know I put it together, but, so it wasn't as hard for me about that. But it didn't got to the point where it got hard for me. You know what I mean?
You're thinking about it more.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I moved to Miami, and I was like, what if somebody sees me? What if somebody finds me? You know what I mean? Like, if I meet somebody and they're like, see me in public, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know. So I started thinking, because I didn't act on it like that when I was where I'm from back home. Right. It wasn't much of a thing. So I got lucky in that way. But awesome. And then in hindsight, it came back to get me later. You know what I mean? So Saturdays did come. You know what I mean?
Gotcha, bitch.
Yes, literally. But, you know, I prevail, I feel like, in hindsight.
You're doing great. Now I have a raunchy question.
Not raunchy.
Who, hello? Who was, like, of all your years playing basketball, like, overseas?
Yep.
Who was, like, that you can remember, like, your hottest teammate that you've ever played?
Honestly, none.
None?
So, like I told you, my focus. And I also, it was a mechanism, right, that I trained myself, yo, you're not gay. You don't look at them like that. So no one can ever act funny. Someone can ever say that, like, yo, you was like this, you was like that. Nah, I saw all y'all the same. Y'all all ugly. I'm joking. You know what I mean? But no, I just never looked at them that way. And honestly, basketball players are not my type. So I don't know. So I'm not looking. I see all of them as my boys. All of them.
That's
all of them. So it was always about basketball with me. Okay. Always about basketball. I never was like, man, he's kind of cute. Nah. If it was a football, probably different sport.
So if basketball boys ain't your type, then just, people watching.
That's why it's fun for me to come play in GBA. I have no drama.
I don't want none of y'all.
None of y'all. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. So like it's like I said, I never had to focus. You know what I mean? Like I literally was able to like put it in the back of my mind. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was something I thought about at night in my own private space at night. Like during the day, I'm not thinking about it when I was younger.
Want to hoop.
Yeah, that was it, bro. I already had a lot of stuff going on in my life. Yeah. And I feel like that's how you save yourself and protect yourself. That's how I had to do it. You know what I mean? Like coming from where I'm from.
I mean, it served you well.
Small city, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't have the experiences that we've had now in this life, you know what I mean? I've traveled the world and whatnot. So like, I felt like where I'm coming from, it wasn't a place to be. So I came out in a whole new city. You know what I mean?
You traveled the world doing what you fucking love.
Yeah, it was great, man. I mean, I wouldn't say great. A lot of ups and downs, but like to say that I got paid to play basketball is something that we do for free.
That's something that a lot of people cannot say.
You know what I mean? Like that's amazing. I've met so many amazing people. I have so many connections around the world. You know what I mean? Like, and still to this day, you'll hear somebody say, like, "Hey, remember when you did that in Singapore? Remember when you did that in Mexico?" Like 12 years ago, bro. I'm about to be 38.
Bitch, I'm about to YouTube.
Wait, you about to be 38?
Yeah.
I didn't think you were. Well, I guess I'm a few, but I thought maybe you were more like 35,
I'm an old head, bro. Yeah. No, I'm there. That's why I told you. I got to get back to work.
Oh gosh, damn. Okay.
Black don't crack, though.
I'm making these
unless you do crack.
So, what has been like your experience like? Now with former players who've seen you being out, do people message you? I
still have my friends, right? So I think for my teammates, I kind of feared that like people would stop being friends with me. That's everyone's fear, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But guess what? You kind of become out of sight, out of mind at some point in your life with a lot of people.
You also be like, you're wasting my time.
You know what I mean?
Like part of my life.
You can also be like, let's go to the gym. I'm still bust your ass.
I'm still him. Like you know what I mean? So
still him.
So you get to a point where like actually after college, when do you see them? When do you see them?
That's a great question.
You know what I mean? You don't see your college friends as much. So, like, you worry, you know what I mean? Because those are your boys. You roll with them, ride with them. And my boys are still my boys to this day. Like, none of them, if they do treat me funny, how would I know?
Yeah, exactly.
How would I literally know? We don't see each other that much, you know what I mean? But I text them, we cool. If I'm in the city, we cool, we link up. You know what I mean? Like, my best friend, he literally didn't understand. He was like, yo, how did you do it? So, like, you like guys, but you was on the court killing. Like, he couldn't figure it out.
Can't figure that out.
I was
That's
like,
the thing
bro,
you talk about all
I
the
wasn't
time.
thinking about no dudes.
Yeah.
I was thinking about killing y'all.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was
trying
doing.
to put a bucket.
Yes, like, on your head, all of y'all. You know what I mean? So,
was
and this is
trying
my
to-
best
I was
friend.
trying to put
I
y'all
was
on
in
a
his
poster.
wedding after I came out.
Oh, wow.
I was in his
Yeah,
wedding
so
after I
it didn't
came
matter,
out.
too.
So, like, me and him are very close. You know what I mean? But he was the first person that's like, bro, you just need love. And I was like, oh, shoot, check you out.
Yeah.
Let him telling you what you need.
Yeah, like, check him
Everyone
out.
finds love at their own time.
Yeah,
man.
like, check him out, though. But, like, he come from the place where we come from, and it's
Yeah.
not normal. It's not normal. So, like, I was able to, like, be myself in it, and it worked out.
I love that.
That's awesome.
I love that so much.
Well, AJ, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on.
thank you. It's been a pleasure.
I really enjoyed like talking to you. We played against you, and I told you when we were in Boston. I was like,
Yeah,
you know what,
yeah.
AJ, like let's sit down and talk.
You
We
did
chatted
say
30
this.
minutes,
You
and I was
actually
like, hey, what do
did.
you want to talk? I was like, okay, cool, let's talk. We sat down for a long time. I was like, I like him. He's cool.
Nah, I
You're always
appreciate
nice
that.
to me, even on the court. Like
I'm
I
not
really like you.
I'm not a bad
Like,
guy.
fuck
Like,
yeah.
I'm not a bad guy. I'm glad you didn't think I was a bad
Yeah,
guy.
I never thought that.
But I never get to tell, like, the progress from when I came out to now.
And I love that we
You know what I
got
mean?
to tell your story.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I mean,
because that means a lot to me personally.
I mean,
especially
to
as a
have this
teammate.
candid conversation, where just
Yeah.
being yourself and talking is very important. And I
Love
think
it.
it's good for people to see different type of people, to
Exactly.
be honest, like in their story and where they go in their journey.
Yeah.
You know?
could not have said that any better.
So I really
Where
appreciate you giving
where
that
you're
time.
At, what you've gone, what you've done, what
Yeah,
you've been
man.
through,
We here.
who you are. Like
Yeah.
that's
We here.
fucking amazing.
And I'm happy, bro.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm really
you know
happy.
What? Say that one more time.
I'm happy.
You're what?
I'm big happy.
Yeah.
Not the little one.
Capital.
Hey now. Hey now.
Okay, Lizzie
And
McGuire.
We got a fucking ball tomorrow.
We do. And we got some plans. We're going to do better.
Let me put the drink down.
We're going to do better. We're going to do better. Today was just not our day.
But,
But
you know what? The first day's never our day.
never.
Never.
First game is always hard.
Never.
The first day is never our day.
No, we literally are just not there. Like, we're not present in the moment at all. But we usually figure it out.
Yeah, we do.
We usually
Always,
figure it
yeah.
out. So we're going to make some changes. We're going to make some changes.
Fun.
So
Yeah,
I'm
excited
gonna
get back
take the
on
leadership
court.
role a little bit more. I think the team leans on me, but also I know our team has egos. So I get a little like fall back on that because like I want to keep my friendships. This is why I'm here.
Yeah.
This is why I'm here. But I also know that like y'all lean on me for that. So like I need to own
You're
that.
our captain.
I need to own that. So
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to wrap it up.
So nice talking with you,
Thank
sir.
you so much. Thank you so much, AJ, for coming
Thank
on.
Love you, AJ, so much.
Appreciate it. Love you more.
Well,
you.
everyone, thank you so much for watching. You guys be
Yes.
involved in Sin City. We can tag them, and you guys should come next year. Meet
Yes.
great people like the people we had, like AJ, the board members, sports for everybody. I mean, not just come fucking
Everybody.
hang out. One of our best friends
Honestly.
brought his damn girlfriend, and she's just hanging out.
She is here.
She's over there. So we love you guys. Thank you so much for following, and remember to
Stay.
fruity. Bye.
Bye, guys.